you?
you.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy you're speaking to you.
Oh, how are you
How are the
doing?
boys?
Oh, they're good. They're wild. Having 3 boys is really, I mean, having 2 little ones. The 2 little ones it's a lot, but it's
It's a jungle.
amazing, and it's so the jungle, but it's so rewarding and fulfilling, and it's such a miracle, but it's hard as a mother to just kind of balance it all out.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
like a of trying to make sure that you're spending quality time with them, and they're feeling loved and nurtured, and that you also are getting enough sleep, and you're taking care of yourself, so then you can be the best parent that you can be, and the best person that you can be for everyone. So it's not easy.
Yeah, I think especially for so many mums this year, like 2020 has been wild. And as a mum, you put yourself on the back burner. So it's like kids, you're like husband, your partner, job, balancing the house, and then you're kind of like last. What tips do you have for mums that, have put themselves last? And now I feel like it's been a whole year of this and it's all catching up on them. Like their health would be down. So many mums I know, like, I haven't worked out, I'm putting on weight, I'm eating crap. Like, what are your tips for that?
I honestly think every day is a new day and a new opportunity to you know, kind of find more balance. That's the way I look at it. And I think for me, like my husband wakes up at 5:30 every morning. The kids generally sleep until 6:30, but actually this morning Miles was up at 5. So it meant that I didn't do my, regular routine that I have. And I was like, I felt a really big difference because I didn't get that 1 hour that I normally get for myself to fill myself up before, the day starts with them, because as soon as they're awake, it's just nonstop until they're napping. Then you can get a little bit of time to
Yeah.
regroup and do what you do. And then, and he didn't even want to nap today because he's teething. He's getting these like big teeth in, like, right. And so, he just like wants to be with me. And I finally got him down for his nap, like about, an hour ago. And now hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll sleep for 2 hours. So,
I always feel like it's either one kid or the other. Like I'll put James down and then I'll try and get Miles down. By the time then they just like wake up, they just switch over. It's so hard to get them asleep at the same time.
yeah, because both of our children, so mine are 16 months apart.
Yeah, I'm 18 months. You're a bit closer than us. Yeah. And I think 6 months, your boys are 6 months older than ours.
Yeah. So we're kind of in a similar situation, except I also have Flynn, who's 9, he's really helpful, to be honest. He's very helpful with the kids. I'll be like, Flynn, please give me a diaper. Quick, there's been a poo explosion. Pass me the wipes. And he'll be like, okay, Mum, and he'll come running in, and it's pretty cute. And but I just think that, as a parent, you think, oh, okay, I finally got it sorted. I've got them into a routine. And then a day like today will happen and it'll just be like, so I just feel like the best thing is to be able to be flexible like a willow and just go with the flow, just
it's
really.
so hard to surrender to that and just to like let it go,
Yeah.
It is.
And
it's
then
a challenge.
I'm also a clean freak about everything being tidy and
I know you are.
And it drives myself insane because my husband doesn't really mind and the kids don't mind. But then I'm like, oh my goodness, I've got to tidy this and tidy that. And I feel like I'm like a bad mother if like it's not all tidy and in its spot, or, or they're not having their like fresh juice in the morning, or and I'm like, okay, it's okay. I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is that they feel loved and they feel safe, and they have they have so many moments with you. Like, I think the most important thing to kids is when you're in the moment with them. And life is so busy, and kids are so good at being in the moment. And as adults, we forget that that's where the magic really is in being in the moment. So if we can just let go a little bit and just be in the moment with them, sometimes their cup then feels really full, and then they're better behaved, and then you can actually get more done because they're, you know, happily playing. So it's just one of those things.
And then you're obviously working from home and you're juggling so much, but how do you stay patient and present with the kids throughout this time, and with Evan? Because, you know, it's so hard to keep that kind of, you know, going.
Yeah, so Evan and I will, because he has his own business and he's working from home. I have my own business and I'm working from home. He is very strict with his time, like when he's working, you know, and I'm a lot more flexible, and my team understands, like, you know, I'm sure his team understands too, because the kids do go into his office quite often when he's in the middle of a meeting, and they'll just sit on his lap when he's on a Zoom or something. And, you know, and I think it's actually been good for us, especially for me, to have him home, because he was traveling a lot prior to this. So it's been really nice to have him home. But at the same time, when he is finished work, you know, he also needs a lot of my attention. And so it's hard to balance that with the kids when you want to be able to give your partner, you know, all that attention and affection, but then the kids are like pulling at you, and sometimes both of them at the same time, or all three of them are like, mom, and then you look over and Evan's like, and I'm like, I'll just get them to bed and then I'll be with you, sorry. Which he obviously understands. But at the same time, like, doing things like prioritizing like one night a week where we just have a dinner together, just the two of us, you know, just like, even if it's in like a different room, you know, than what we'll normally have it, like just have like a little date night at home together. And just I try to make sure that, like, we when we do have that date night, that we don't necessarily talk about the kids, or we don't talk about work, that we just talk about like how we're doing and like things that are exciting for us, or, you know, because I feel like sometimes, someone told me once, like, don't get into that trap about like just talking about the kids when you're with your partner. Like, keep it exciting and talk about other things that you know, you're interested in, or something that he's seen that's interesting for him, or, you know. And I think that was a good tip about just having that time with each other and just turning on the music. Like the other night, we had a little date night because we were celebrating like the night we first met, and that was, I'm trying to think if it was 6 years ago. It was 6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years ago when we first met. And so I said, let's have a nice little, you know, date night. And the kids were in bed, and, you know, we were sitting outside and just enjoying that time together. I put the music on, like classical, like old school kind of music. And then I just like was like, okay, and let's have a little dance. And we just had a little dance by the moonlight. And it's those simple little things that can just like connect back to each other, and just like trying to be in the moment, and like don't think about like other things that you have to do, but just really being present with each other is important.
I remember the night you guys first met.
Yes, it was in New York.
Yeah, we caught up after, and you were telling me about this guy that you met, and you were so excited.
Yes, and then I thought we were getting along really well at the dinner, and Glenda Bailey was sitting next to me, and she was like, oh my God, you guys are going to get married. And I was like, what? That's crazy. And she was right. Like, I thought, oh, what a sweet guy. He's cute, you know, he's young. But I'm going to fix my head towel. Hold on. It's almost falling off me. And she was right. We, we got married. It's kind of wild that she knew that.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, oh, he's such he's a charming young guy. But the last thing I was looking for was another relationship, because I just separated from Orlando and I was not in the headspace to be with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, oh, he's charming, he was cute, but kind of wild. Now we're married. We've got, a beautiful family together 6 years later.
Wow.
Great.
I wanted to talk about when I first met you and how much joy you brought to my life, and you just opened me up completely to this whole new world. I was always spiritual. I grew up with my mum and my sisters all being very open and spiritual, but you just kind of really introduced me to a whole new world of consciousness and being more mindful. And I wanted to talk about that and really talk about self-love, because I feel like self-love and self-respect is obviously your books, Treasure Yourself. And I wanted to see if you had any tips, especially for mums, in terms of self-love and self-respect, because I think we really go through waves where we lose that.
Yeah, I mean, it's another thing that I feel like is a daily kind of thing to remember, like, and to appreciate yourself and everything that you bring to the table, and not feel like you have to be anything but true to who you are. And that's why, I mean, I wanted to write Treasure Yourself and Empower Yourself, to really encourage girls, like, to embrace their individuality, to embrace their differences, because if we were all the same, it would be so boring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I kind of have a metaphor with the flower, and like every flower is beautiful in its own way, just like every woman is beautiful in her own way. And you can't say like one flower is more beautiful than another. They're just different. Like you can't say like, like a peony is more beautiful. It's not, like, it's not more beautiful than a sunflower, and they're totally different, and that's why I really, tried to make that like something that people could understand and realize, like, everyone has something unique and beautiful to bring to the table. And it's really important that we listen to that and we find what makes us feel good, like inside of us, and what makes us different, and what like gets us excited in the morning, and just kind of tune into that energy and kind of appreciate that about yourself, and then expand on that. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, totally. You also really helped me come into myself a lot, especially in terms of like body image and my my like figure. And I remember I used to wear clothes that didn't flatter me at all because they were in fashion and they were cool. And then I started wearing things that were much more feminine, and like a lot of wrap dresses, a lot of florals, and a lot of things that just really flatter me. And that's kind of the style I've evolved with. But you're right, it's about finding what works for you and then going for that. Same with, skincare and things like that, right?
Yeah. So I just feel like there are certain tools in my life that have really helped me feel good about myself. And that is like affirmations, mm-hmm. because the way we talk to ourselves really has an effect on us, on a cellular level. Like every thought we think has an effect on ourselves. And so I don't know if you remember, but like there was a time when I would write on my water bottle, like love, peace, joy, I would write. And that was a way of just kind of, there were different studies that were done on the molecular structure of water, and they took pictures of it with the positive words on there. And it was Masaru Emoto, he's from Japan, and he did all this different research on how the positive words and even, uplifting music can have such an effect on water. And then he would photograph, so he'd freeze the water after he'd put a positive word on there or a negative word, and then look at it under the microscope, and you would see beautiful crystalline shape if it was a positive word, and if it was the negative word, it would be all like disfigured and disformed. And there's been so many different studies about that, and we're all energetic beings. And so the way that we talk to ourselves, especially because, you know, I think we're like 60 or 70% water, and every thought we think really just affects us. And so there are little things like, even with my skincare line, on the back of the product, I wrote a positive word like bliss, to kind of energize those products, but also all the products are filtered through rose quartz as well, to give that loving, nurturing energy. So that when you like having those moments to yourself, like our monotonous like cleanse, mist, moisturize routine, you're just kind of giving back to yourself. So these little tools like affirmation and, you know, rose quartz crystals, and you'll see like I have a lot of rose quartz crystals behind me. And also little things like I have these little, I have a little candle. So I have these little kits, and I have a Palo Santo. And what I like to do to kind of reset the energy, if I'm having like a day when I'm feeling overwhelmed, or even just at the end of the day, to just have this little ritual to cleanse the space, to cleanse the energy, and to then feel like, okay, the kids are in bed, I can take this little moment for me to like take a bath. You know, I have these little crystals here that they actually come in a little pack. So you get a rose quartz, a clear quartz, an amethyst with the candle and the Palo Santo. And I made these little packs. They're called energy clearing ritual pack. So they come like this in this little bag with the candle. And I made them because I used to do this, and I thought, wow, how fun would it be to give to people as a little gift. Sorry, there's Flynn outside waving to me again. Flynn's my 9-year-old, and he's like, we're very connected, like emotionally, as you know, because you lived with us for a while, quite so many years. And so he's always just been like, I don't know how to describe it, but I just feel like we understand each other. And anyway, he's my firstborn, and he's just waving to me from outside. But
I love living with you and Flynn.
No, it was fun, wasn't it? We had
you rubbed off so much on me as a mother, and it's kind of the relationship that I always wanted to have with Miles. You were just like, obviously you were his mother, but you were like a best friend, and you guys had such a strong connection and such a strong bond, and it's so nice.
And so much fun together.
Yeah.
Like I remember sometimes, like even if we were busy or something happened or anything, we would just like turn on the music and just start dancing around. Little things like that as well, like to shift the energy. Like say for instance, like I was tired, or maybe he was, you know, having a moment, as all kids do, and then you can just do little things like that to help reset the energy. And so
what about jumping
like
for joy?
Jumping for joy is another one. Yeah,
we
used to do that a lot to get your energy going. Yeah. And also I jump on the trampoline a lot with the kids, like at home. They love it. But I just love having these little tools that are little things that you can do to just nurture yourself and reset, because life is really busy, and you know, maybe, you know, you're working really hard, or maybe you are a stay-at-home mom and there's so much going on in your life, or maybe you're trying to juggle both. But if you can find little tools that help you, then you can have those moments to give back to yourself. And so those are things that have helped me. And also simple things like, as you know very well, I would take my shoes off and just put my feet in the grass and feel the energy of the earth, like coming all the way through my feet, all the way up, and just re-energizing me. And I would close my eyes, and a new thing I've been doing lately is putting my hands out like this and feeling the sun go into my palms, and feel all my body with that beautiful light. And it just is a really great way to reset and re-energize. Yeah.
You haven't aged since I met you, and I think 9, almost 10 years. What are your tips for looking youthful? Apart, obviously, Cora.
Obviously. Cora I've been using it like since before you even met me. I developed
and you made it all yourself, right?
Yeah, I developed. So the idea was back in 2006 when I said to a friend of mine, like, I'm eating healthy and organic, and I've noticed that, like, obviously I've researched like what you put on your skin, it goes into your bloodstream. And so everyone's so concerned about what they're eating, but they don't even realize like what they're putting on their skin, what they're putting on their hair. And I remember my mum had gotten sick like about a year before or two before that, and we had read this book called The Chemical Maze, and it showed us all the different chemicals and things that were in everyday household products, from the food that you eat to the body products you use to the cleaning products to the hair products. And I was just really horrified to the amount of chemicals that were in everyday products that I assumed that were safe just because they were on the market. And so I figured our skin's our largest organ. What we put on sinks in. And I said to my friend, like, what products out there are there that are organic? And she's like, I don't know, like, I don't know, why don't you talk to this friend of mine? I know she makes certified organic essential oils. And so I spoke with her, and she put me in touch with the labs in Melbourne. And, I just feel so blessed because I started this conversation with them. I went back and forth. I told them I wanted the key ingredient to be noni, which I've been drinking since I was 13. It's like a superfood, superfruit. And I wanted to use really powerful products that were natural. Like, I didn't want to make anything unless it really was results driven, because I don't want to like put anything on my skin unless it's going to help it, because it's just a waste of time. Like, even if it's healthy, I don't want to just put it on because it's healthy. I want it to actually make a difference to my skin. And so we went back and forth, and then I launched Cora in 2009. So I invested, all my money into it, all my time and energy, which you have seen yourself firsthand, and just created these products that I'm super proud of because they're like transforming people's skin in a really healthy way. It's good for them. And you just get to see like the power of organics. And so many people think like, oh, if it's organic, it's maybe not as powerful, but it's actually quite the contrary, because there's this study that just came out from Cambridge saying that certified organic ingredients have up to 60% more antioxidants than non-certified organic ingredients. So basically it's like a no-brainer that you're going to get more potent results by using certified organic products, because there are that many more antioxidants and like going deep into your skin and giving you the results you need. So I know it's been really incredible to watch my company grow. It's like my baby girl. And
you've got so many products now. The range is just expanding and getting so big.
Yeah, and we're coming out with 4 more new products next year.
Mm-hmm. And I know you use it on the boys, because I use it on my boys. You sent me stuff because Miles had, I think he got some sort of eczema or some sort of rash, and you sent me stuff, and I've been using it ever since on the kids. And it's safe. Yeah. And I think as a mum, it's so important to use nothing nasty. You're like kissing your kids, you're being close to them. Like if they were to like touch that, it's like nasty chemicals they're just going to ingest.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. The body wash I use on the kids. I even wash their hair with it. Mm-hmm. The body lotion all over the kids, the body balm and the face balm are really good to always have like in your bag for the kids, because it's just a great way to like, moisturize them. If they're teething, they get a little dry because of their teething, or or maybe they just have more naturally dry skin, So it's good to just make sure that you always have that on hand. And I've used my products on all of my 3 kids because I know that it's really good for them and healthy, and there's no nasty chemicals in there. Yeah. But it's not just good for babies and women, it's also good for men. My husband uses it too.
Yes, he likes the oil.
Oh yes, Evan uses the face oil every
Yeah.
day, and also he uses this in the shower, which is great for men. This is the Tumeric Brightening and Exfoliating Scrub.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep it in the shower, and
Can you
basically it
use that
just
every
is like,
day?
he does. He uses it every day. And I'm a pretty addicted as well, and I use it almost every day. But you see, it's just that
Yeah.
scrubby, rosehip seeds, aspen bark. It's just got papaya enzymes in there to have with like enzymatic exfoliation. It has turmeric brightening. It has peppermint, so it's like all tingly and gives you that invigorating aromatherapy experience. I love aromatherapy as well. Like another tool that I've found really helpful to recenter and rebalance. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
think
go
as a
on.
mum, it's finding what works for you and what brings a bit of joy to your life. Like whether it's like you love having fresh flowers around, right? Like that's a simple thing. You can get them for $10 at your local deli that brings you so much joy. So I think it's about finding what that special thing is for you.
From outside, like from your garden, or a
Yeah.
little bit of greenery from the tree. When
Yeah.
I was like growing up in Canada, we'd always pick like leaves or little like, pieces of like greenery from the tree, whether it be like, the little eucalyptus leaves, and just put them in like a little vase, and it's really great.
Mhm.
So
Well, I
yeah.
love you and I'm so happy I got to speak to you and catch up today.
No, I love you. Thanks for having me. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.